Welcome everyone to Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com, the number one Superman fan site in the world. In this, our March 17th, 2025 show, our St. Patrick's Day show, hence the green shirt, we are going to be discussing a number of topics, including some pretty big news in regards to the upcoming Superman movie. We've got some merchandise, we've got some presentations, we've got a cinema trailer date at Cinemacon. We've got so many things to talk about tonight. But joining me, as always, are my two good friends and co-hosts, Michael Bailey. How are you, Michael?
Hey, doing okay?
That's good. And Mark Lax. Welcome, Mark.
Hello, guys.
Well, gentlemen, got a lot to talk about tonight, but as always, we are very thankful of our sponsors and patrons. So I want to thank them at the top of the show. Thank you so much to Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Rick Schutzow, our four sponsors who are very kindly sponsoring tonight's show. I want to thank them for their financial support. And if you'd like to join those fine folks and be a sponsor of the Superman homepage, then all you have to do is click the join button below there on YouTube. There are different levels of membership with different levels of perks. Or you can go to Patreon and go to patreon.com/Superman homepage. Now, we usually, if we have time, like to take callers. Michael, how do fans get involved in tonight's show?
Oh, it's dirt simple. They just go to supermanhomepage.com/live, press the call now button, and that will take them to the green room where they can sit there and watch the show, waiting to get on the call. Or you can use your cell phone or smartphone, I guess I should say, and scan the QR code that's right next to me. Now, if you are using your computer to watch the show and you want to be on, and we are using an external speaker, please mute that because we are on a bit of a delay. And if you're using your smartphone, please use your headset or AirPods or whatever because, well, speakerphones don't work out that well, but it's pretty much that easy.
Yes, and for those who are tuning in live via the show tonight, but don't want to call in, maybe a little bit shy, but still want to be involved in tonight's show, then all you have to do is participate in the comments, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. Michael, Mark, and I can see what you're saying. We can get involved in your conversations, answer any questions you might have, and participate in the show that way. But if you're on YouTube and you'd like your question or your comment featured live on the screen tonight, then all you have to do is click the dollar symbol there on YouTube. A slider will appear on your screen. You decide on the dollar amount you're willing to donate, and we will feature your comment or question live on the screen as we go along tonight. Well, gentlemen, as I mentioned, there's a few topics to get through tonight. Quite a few things joining in regards to the Superman movie, which is only a matter of months away. But to start with, we heard earlier in the week that co-CEOs of DC Studios, James Gunn and Peter Safran, were joined by our new Superman, David Corenswet, to put on a presentation for the people of Warner Brothers Discovery, where we don't know exactly what they spoke about, but they put on a presentation for a collection of people from Warner Brothers Discovery. No doubt Superman was obviously a main topic there, but sounds like Superman is a very big deal for the studio, and a lot is hinging on its success.
Well, yeah, I mean this is where they're launching everything, so I guess that kind of makes sense that they would all be there, especially with the new Superman. So uh, ought to be a fly on the wall and watch that
Mm.
presentation.
Yeah, the first thing I noticed is the great DC logo. I love that classic
The bullet
logo.
leg. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure I'm sure they went through a few things, but I'm sure Superman was probably the very top of the list.
Yeah, so with a large cinema screen behind them, I wonder if they actually saw any footage or if they showed the film, if it was a screening of the movie, or maybe an advanced preview of the upcoming trailer, which we'll be talking about shortly. But yeah, exactly, Michael. To be a fly on the wall would have been very interesting indeed. So interesting that there was a presentation held, but what it was spoken about, what was revealed, I guess, will be only those who are in attendance will know. But what we do know is that there is some merchandise starting to hit the shelves in and around some of the department stores like Walmart, Target, and the like. And we had a look at this new backpack, kids backpack, I guess you call it. It's called a Superman suit lunch bag. It's apparently in stores right now. It's got a large holographic Superman S shield on the front with some abs and muscles. Large silver lettering at the top with Superman and the logos all around the sides. But what caught most people's attention, other than the suitcase or the bag itself, was the fact that there was a tag on the bag, which has some new promo artwork or imagery that we had not seen before of David Corenswet as Superman, and a lot of people were remarking about this particular image.
Yeah, it looks pretty sharp. I think if that's going to be that and the flying at the camera one are going to be our merchandising art for this, I think we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, at least we don't have what we had in the past, artist's impression of the
Yeah.
actor, which we had for Superman Returns, we had it for Man of Steel. Mark, your thoughts on this image of David Corenswet as Superman?
Very majestic, very got a bit of a Christopher Reeve, but a bit of a George Reeves type of almost like hands on hips, that kind of thing. And I love he looks really good.
Yeah, we've got the spit curl there on the hair. We've got him
Yeah,
looking pretty positive, and the colors pop. You got the DC logo in the background again there, and look, it looks good. I mean, the suit itself. We've commented previously about our issues with the high collar. It wasn't a very popular thing with the new 52, and there seems to be a lot of people commenting on how it seems to change from photo to photo or image to image that we see, that sometimes it appears higher or lower or more pinched in the middle or what have you. But whether we'll get multiple costumes in the movie is another debate that keeps raging on. But overall, the colors really pop, which is what I'm happy about.
I'm just hoping that this lunch bag isn't made of lead, like the one that came out during Superman Returns, because I rather liked that bag, and then I had to stop using it because it was made of lead. So, which is kind of ironic. I'd get this, but my wife actually just finished up making me a lunch bag. That's pretty cool. Actually, it's right here.
Oh,
Probably
nice.
can't get a really good clear shot of it, but
Oh, yeah.
it's got
Batman,
Superman
Superman.
and Batman artwork
yeah, it's
fabric on it.
good.
So
Very nice.
yeah, it looks really
Like
cool. It's got snaps. It's got a handle. It's got a thing for a water bottle. I mean, it's a she did very well with it.
Bit of a
So I'll
side
be
gig.
skipping the bag as far as merchandise.
Fair enough. But yeah, so this one, if you've seen it in stores, Target and Walmart supposedly have them at the moment, but you can, I believe, purchase them online. I think hobbylobby.com is one place you'll be able to, if you're in the US, be able to pick yours up. So new merchandise hitting stores, and I'm sure we'll be seeing more on shelves as we move along. But I mentioned a trailer earlier that whether or not James Gunn showed that at that presentation that he held for the Warner Brothers Discovery people. But the rumor is, and the speculation is, and I think it's pretty much confirmed at this point in time, is that Warner Brothers Pictures and DC Studios will introduce a new trailer for the Superman movie at Cinemacon at the beginning of next month on Tuesday, April 1st, which is an unfortunate date, being that most people attribute that to April Fool's Day. But nevertheless, that's when the convention's taking place over those days. And the Warner Brothers special presentation will give fans a look at their upcoming slate of films, including, of course, Superman.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the specific day the trailer. I mean, I'm hoping that it hits the net the same day it's hitting
You would assume.
the convention. But given the amount of I was about to say a very naughty word. Um, Given the amount of
Crap.
jokes, quote unquote, that people like to play on April 1st online, it's
Mhm.
just like the worst timing ever.
Yeah, it's interesting it's on a Tuesday. Tuesday, April 1st. I mean, you'd think Saturday, Friday, Sunday, but a Tuesday seems an odd day to have the conventions taking place. Cinemacon must go for longer, many like more days than most conventions to end up on a Tuesday. But the 2 hour panel will start at 4:30 and go till 6:30 Pacific time, Mark.
Where is it now? CinemaCon is
It's in Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas.
no. Okay, so I don't know. Tuesday is an odd day, but April 1st is an odd day. But hopefully, whatever if we get to see it that day, it's the actual trailer, not something someone made up. It said, "This is it." It's like
Oh,
April Fools.
the number of links you're going to click on, it's going to take you to Rick Astley singing "Never Gonna Give You Up" is probably unimaginable at this point. I'm just expecting that to happen again and again.
Well, I tell you, it's getting harder and harder to determine what is real and what isn't real with all this AI technology that's out and about there at the moment. But
Yeah,
it will no doubt be released, I'm sure, same day online, but 4:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. that time frame, Pacific time. It's later in the evening when what we usually see things released earlier in the day, but that might work in my favor considering the time difference.
yeah. You don't have to get up at the
1 a.m.
at 1 o'clock in the morning to start getting the things. It'll because our time, Mark and I's time, that's like 7:30 to 9:30
Mm.
in the
Yeah,
evening.
So yeah,
yeah, that's
CinemaCon is
late.
on from 31st of March to the 3rd of April. So that is a long convention, or it's taking place at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Um, Someone's asking the question in Mind the Gap: is CinemaCon one of those press only events? Um, I don't know.
No, I
I'm not
don't think
sure
so.
if it's you can if it's open to the public or if it's only a press event. But yeah, I've never really. It's not one that's been really on my radar. Anybody know any further information?
If, if it's that
No,
big, I'm pretty
I
sure.
this
I would think it's a regular con, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, it says here
this
all
is
registration will
literally
be
the first time I've
verified
heard
and
of it.
adjusted as appropriate. So if you're unsure of your membership eligibility, please verify your status with the appropriate member organization prior to registering. So it does sound like you have to be
Yeah,
a member of
No.
a particular, um, whether it's
media organization.
media organization, National, NATO, ICTA, and NAC. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, I guess if you're in the media, in the press, you know what those acronyms stand for, and if you're a member and are attending, it's more like a trade show, I guess, than a convention for the public.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which is probably why it's during the week
Yeah,
and not like on a weekend because it's a professional type thing.
makes sense. Steve Brown
Yeah.
in the comments says, yeah, it's for movie theater owners mostly. So there you go. I guess we'll find out more details as the convention starts, and on that particular day, Tuesday, April 1st, for the Warner Brothers Pictures and DC Studios special presentation. And you can be sure that the Superman homepage will have you covered in regards to all that information. Now, speaking of conventions, and one that people were able to attend, in this past weekend in India, Kolkata ComicCon took place, and they had that massive Superman movie present. What do we call it? I guess big. It's almost like an interactive um, poster, interactive photo opportunity where fans could get into amongst the big Superman symbol. And here's a little video that they released, which actually has some really cool music, which is obviously from the film itself. Have a look from India Comic Con or Kolkata Comic Con. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was very well cut together.
Yeah, I was actually impressed. That sounds. It seems like that will that interactive display will probably be shown and taken around at conventions all over the world. I think we saw it previously somewhere else, and it seems to be a popular display that people can take photo opportunities with, and it's also great to hear the music. Mark, what did you think?
Oh yeah, no, it looks good. That music, I mean, even in that style is just unmistakable. Just hearing that just gets you going, and all those people. They seem to really they seem to be really into it, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, plenty of fans in India, and they're all wearing their Superman shirts. And that last guy doing the shirt rip, that was pretty awesome. And looking forward to the convention season really picking up as the temperatures warm up there for you guys. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how and where that display pops up from time to time over the coming weeks and months. All right. Interview that Rachel Brosnahan, who is playing Lois Lane, did with Natural Diamonds. She talked about how she prepared for the role in the upcoming Superman movie, and said that she actually read a lot of comic books to get into. Our live video has been stopped because may contain.
Oh, the
Okay,
music.
damn, that's
Oh
Instagram.
no, what happened?
It's Instagram.
Is
So sorry for
that
anybody.
just on
Yeah,
Instagram?
just Instagram. So I
Yeah.
think we're still. Yeah, that's a shame. That video
Oh,
killed us on Instagram, but hopefully everybody else is still with us everywhere else. Let us know quickly. Yeah, it just seems like Instagram stopped, but still streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So uh, apologies for everybody there on Instagram who can't hear us anymore anyway, but
good thing.
let's hope they jump over to the rest of our broadcasting channels to be able to participate in the show. But yeah, so back to what I was saying, Rachel Brosnahan saying that she read lots of comic books to get into the role of Lois Lane and as part of her research, which is always impressive when one of the actors does delve into the source material to try to learn more about their character and not just rely on either the script or any previous live action versions that have taken place.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the director will tell you not to do that. I remember back when like Bryan Singer was doing the X-Men films, they had to sneak some people, including Kevin Feige, who was a production assistant, had to like sneak Hugh Jackman comic books. But now that comic book films are a little more acceptable, and huge cash cows for the studios, I guess it's okay for them to kind of delve into the source material to see it. I'm kind of curious as to which one she read.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in the interview, it just says that Lois is such an interesting character because she has transformed the most over time. She retains the core of being hungry, ambitious, determined, strong-willed, and relentless in her pursuit of the truth. But how she looks has changed so much, as well as how she interacts with Clark and Superman. Even though it's always a love story at the center, this has evolved so much over time. So yeah, she said she spoke a lot with James Gunn, the director, about how to pay homage to the ones that came before, what might be different about her in this world, and talked about the current state of journalism and what it means to be somebody in the world today who is a print journalist who is fighting for the integrity of print journalism. So yeah, interesting. Mark.
Yeah.
I think it's a little more important to know the source material you're dealing with instead of and saying, well, I'm going to watch Margot Kidder or I'm going to watch Phyllis Coates. Or to look at the actual source material to know who you're portraying.
Hmm.
And to me, Lois has changed and evolved through all the years. I would get a handful of every age, all the way from 1938 all the way till today, because you've got, such a varied portrayal of the character. And I mean, you might say, all right, well, I'll go from the time they got engaged, or I'll go from more, the last 5 years or something like that. I would say, if you really want to get into the character, look up as much of the character as you can. I mean, don't read every comic, but a few from the Golden Age, a few from the Silver Age, that kind of thing. I mean, I would do that, and I think it's more important to know the actual source material than how certain other people portrayed it.
Agreed. All right, so that's Rachel Brosnahan's interview with Natural Diamonds. You can check out the full interview at Natural Diamonds website. But if you're interested in the Superman side of what she had to say, it's on supermanhomepage.com. Now, another cast member has also been interviewed. This time it's Nathan Fillion, who spoke with TVGuide.com and basically told us that nothing really that we didn't already hope, but that Green Lantern Guy Gardner is going to be a real jerk.
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
when I was reading his comments, I'm like, okay, so he's comic book accurate, very good, and
Yeah.
Fillion's really good at playing that kind of likable jerk
Hmm.
as he's done in several roles. So I'm kind of glad that that's the Guy Gardner they're going for.
Yeah, he says Guy Gardner. You don't have to be good to be a Green Lantern. You just have to be fearless. So Guy Gardner is fearless, and he's not very good. He's not nice, which is very freeing as an actor because you just think to yourself, "What is the most selfish, self-serving thing I can do in this moment?" And that's the answer. So yeah, he's a pretty overconfident dude who obviously is going to rub people up the wrong way.
Well, it also depends on the level of jerk, because his character, the most famous, is in Justice League International, and before that, yeah, I guess he was a jerk, but he wasn't the level of jerk that they made him, and he's the most. That's kind of the one everyone seems to go to. But then even after that, after Warrior and all that, he was still a jerk, but he wasn't on the level that he was. So it depends on what level of jerk. Who is he? Which writers or comics is he following? You know, to see exactly how he wants to portray the character. He obviously knows something about the character. So
Mhm. Yeah, well, I imagine it'll also be determined by the script and just the lines that
mm.
he's given and the action sequences that he's involved with. But again, we'll all find out when we see the film in July, July 11th. There is the pretty much the premiere, July 9th, July 10th, in other locations, depending on where you are in the world. But speaking of July, everyone's waiting for that film. But April 18th, which is pretty much a month away to the day. Well, for me, it is at the moment because it's March 18th here, is Superman Day. And DC have already released an image promoting Superman Day. And that's the Green Lantern. There it is. This is, there's also the little logo in the bottom right hand corner that's also been doing the rounds as a larger image. But Superman Day is uh, going to be, I guess, a huge day in 2025, being that the movie is coming out. Some people are saying we won't see the trailer on April 1st, like we heard earlier about Cinemacon, that it will actually be April 18th that a big trailer will be released. What are we thinking about this graphic, and what are we thinking about that theory?
I like the graphic. I mean, it's a shirt rip, so
Yeah.
that's always welcome. I I was thinking that actually when I saw this graphic and that they were making such a big deal of it. I'm like, are they going to wait for the trailer on that day? Um, I'm torn on it. Like, I want to see it as soon as possible, but it would be even cooler to have it released on that day,
Mm,
and it be like a big thing on its own. And because last couple of years it's been pretty active on social media,
yeah.
or Superman Day has. It's been a thing. People posting pictures, people posting images of the comics they're reading, whatever. So I think this year it's going to be a little bigger, mainly because, like you said, the movie. But yeah, I'm more wanting the trailer on the 18th actually. Now that I'm sorting it out as we're talking.
Well, it kind of makes sense. You wouldn't want it on April Fool's Day, but April 18th, since that's Superman Day, would seem to be a great day to release it. I'm sure we can wait 2 more weeks after that.
Yeah, I think the 18th is a better day for it. I mean, I don't know. I guess this, CinemaCon is for the retailers, but who knows what's going to get out? Things are can get out. Can they contain it until April 18th? If they could, that would be great. I think that would be a better day for it. But we'll see. And I do like the image. The shirt rip is the classic. The classic image. You can't go wrong with. You can't go wrong with a shirt rip. I'm not wearing anything underneath, but you can't go wrong with that. So.
You can if there's nothing underneath. So that is a.
Yes, you can. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. They shouldn't do that.
But Warner Brothers Studio Tour in Hollywood will host a special film screening of Superman the movie, the 1978 classic, on the Superman Day, April 18th, at the iconic WB backlot in Hollywood, introduced by TCM host Ben Mankiewicz. So yeah, that's interesting that there's going to be a special screening of Superman the movie at Warner Brothers Studio Tour Hollywood. If anybody's in that area and is going to attend, that would be awesome, I reckon.
Yeah, Ben Mankiewicz is big on Turner Classic Movies. He's one of their main hosts. And, if I'm correct, nephew of Tom Mankiewicz.
Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
he's part of that kind of Hollywood dynasty. So he's a good choice to host a screening. Now I'm kind of mad that I'm not living out in California because I would love to go see that.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it's an action-packed day of activities and behind-the-scenes stuff happening there. There'll be a showcase of fine art from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. with special appearances from comic book artists. The fine art pieces will feature Superman artwork available for purchase and signing. As a bonus, any DC merchandise purchase will include a free special edition comic book while supplies last. So sounds like, all in all, it's a great day out there on Superman Day, April 18th. Friday, and it happens to be a Friday, which is a great day also to hold an event like that. So ticket prices are $89 for the whole day thing. So it's not just the movie screening, but you've got the guided tour. You've got as I said, the art installation. So lots to see and enjoy.
Maybe David Cornswell will be in the group dressed as Clark Kent. No one will recognize him. Then he'll walk, kind of sneak off, and then all of a sudden he'll be there as Superman. Like, wow, where'd you come from?
Where'd you come from?
No, but it does sound like fun.
Yeah, it does sound like a fun day. So if you are listening or watching the show and you plan to attend, please let us know. We'd love to see if you can help the Superman homepage report on it and give us a bit of a sneak preview behind the scenes there of what was taking place on that particular day. All right, so we are at the halfway mark of tonight's show. We're going to take a quick break, play some messages, then come back on the flip side to do our regular fan favorite segment, This Week in History, and then we've got some merchandise to look through as well. So we'll be back right after these messages.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying Superman Homepage Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program, just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by going to patreon.com/Superman homepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Bomer, the voice of Superman and Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
Oh, that outfit's adorable! It's perfect! I think it's time to have some fun at Burger King. Excellent! Yeah, that sounds great.
What are you watching?
Superman fighting Brainiac?
Could you turn it down?
Cool new Superman toys are now at Burger King. You can get one with every Kids Club meal.
Well, what have we here?
Wow. Burger King Kids Club. Great food, cool stuff, kids only.
Oh, cool, those toys from that Burger King offer. I've still got them on display. They're really, especially the one where he floats on his chin point and it's like swivels around the Daily Planet. That was a really good one. All right.
Could you turn that down? Could you shut up?
Yeah.
Trying to watch my show, Mom. That's when Mom
very
hits you in the
good.
back of the head.
Yeah, that's right. With a shoe.
Yelling,
Yeah,
haven't I
that
told you to
follows.
stop yelling lies? That, slap.
All right. So moving on, we're going to do our fan favorite segment of our show. Hearing that music again, we just heard it in the Burger King commercial, but there it is. Michael, what was the fan favorite question from last week?
What is your favorite episode of the Lois and Clark TV series? And our first one is from Lorenzo Valdez, or as I like to call him, Lorenzo Hot Take Valdez. My favorite episode of Lois and Clark is the Green Glow of Home. Okay, Lorenzo, I am sincerely and utterly disappointed in you that you did not choose the one that had Lana Lang in it. I'm just saying that right now. It's very against type. Is this like are you being held hostage and this is how you're trying to tell us?
If you need help.
He'll let us know next week. As I loved that we get to spend so much time in Smallville. Oh, there it is. Are we skipping our favorite Superboy episode, though? I was expecting that to be the next fan favorite question. Steve, the 2025 Superman Weekly Planner you put together has daylight savings time included, which is how I found out what was happening this year.
Thank you, Lorenzo. I did
You
have to.
threw some shade in there, Steve.
I know.
Jeez.
I know. Wow. Yeah, the weekly planner was pulled down, and Warner Brothers was like, "No, you can't do that." So that's why I haven't been looking at it. I'm scarred for life.
Oh, okay.
That's my excuse anyway. Who's next?
Jeremy Crawford wrote, I have a few favorite Lois and Clark episodes of Pilot because I like Clark trying on different suits. And the answer is, and we have a lot to talk about, because Lois finds out the secret in the 4-part New Krypton episodes where Clark finds out there are more Kryptonians because he gets to fight a Kryptonian.
Thank you very much. He has quite a few there. Thank you, Jeremy. Next up, answering last week's question, is JP Rocha, who said, for last week's question, my favorite episode of the Ruby Spears Superman 88 episode is episode 8. Maybe it is just a coincidence, but my favorite episode also features Wonder Woman, Superman, and Wonder Woman versus the Sorceress of Time. The birthday party. It also features Pat Carroll as Queen Hippolyta, Ursula herself. This show is super underrated, great design and great art. Wonder Woman looks great. Well, thank you, JP. That's not obviously JP there. That's for the next answer, which comes from Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Ignatius Pratt wrote, I would say that my favorite Lois and Clark episode would be the Season 2 episode Tempest Fugitive. Having grown up with the classic Christopher Reeve films, I always liked Superman, but it really wasn't until Lois and Clark that I began to really love the character. And it was the Tempest Fugitive that love was cemented. If I hadn't been a true blue Superman fan before, I was by the time the episode aired. From Lois finally discovering Clark's secret, to Tempest's biting accusation that she is the most galactically stupid woman who ever lived, and from Clark dealing with the fallout of his exposed identity to the character-defining line, "Superman is what I can do, Clark is who I am," this episode was arguably a defining moment for the TV series. In addition, this already superb episode was only enhanced by the touching moment of Clark meeting younger versions of the Kent, as well as Lane Davies' brilliant performance as Tempest. Speaking of Lane, I was fortunate to meet him at a gathering of Lois and Clark fans back in 2005. I've attached a couple of pictures of the moment should you deem either worthy to share.
Well, thank you very much, Ryan, for that very well thought out post and response to the question. And we appreciate everyone's answers to the fan favorite question. Thank you, JP, for persisting and giving us last week's one. But thank you to Lorenzo, Jeremy, and Ryan for answering the Lois and Clark question. And yes, even though you threw some shade at me, Lorenzo, I will go back to the Superboy series for next week's fan favorite question, which is, Mark, what is it? I think I've just given it away.
What is your favorite episode of the Superboy TV series?
There you go, just for you, Lorenzo. Going back to the 80s Superboy TV series, what is your favorite episode? Let us know by answering this fan favorite question. And all you have to do is send your responses to info@supermanhomepage.com. That's info@supermanhomepage.com. And we'll read out the answers that you submit to this question when we return to the fan favorite question next week. All right, now it's time for This Week in History. Here we go.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bonds of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
Not a whole lot to go through this week, kind of a light one, but we do go back to 1945 with Action Comics number 84. Superman on roller skates with a bunch of barrels.
What is he?
Yeah, I guess World War II was really weighing on everybody's mind. 1955, we have Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen number 5, which is the story of Superman's souvenirs. So I love that Superman's like, I got this entire fortress of well, no, because the fortress hadn't been introduced yet. So basically, he's just stashing all of his stuff at Jimmy Olsen's place. That's nice, Superman.
Diver's helmet.
So yeah, okay, you're a jerk, Superman. 1965, we have Superman number 177, the menace called It.
Not to be confused.
Sure, they spent minutes. Yeah, you're all gonna float down here, Superman. 1975, we have Superman number 288, which is the secret identity of the new Superman, and Superman looking very scared at meeting the new Superman. So obviously he's kind of upset at meeting David Cornsweet. So that's okay. Nothing in 1985, but we are going to jump to 1995 with Primal Force number 7.
It's a 90s cover right there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's none more 90s. We also have, this is cool, Superman number 100. This was the second part of the death of Clark Kent. This is a big deal back in 95. I remember being very excited for this.
Yeah, this is around the time that I was really into the comics.
Yeah, around a couple years ago, Jeff and I covered it on the show, and it holds up. It's actually still a very entertaining series, and I really like that issue in particular. I said series, not Siri. My phone just tried to have me talk to Siri, so that's nice. Superman, the Man of Steel, annual number 4. This is one of the year 1 annuals, and this is the one talking about how Superman met all of the original members of the Justice League, with some John Paul Leon art, which was kind of weird, but it was a cool story nonetheless, with a really cool Walt Simonson cover. In 2005, we have Adventures of Superman number 638 with Steve's favorite bad guy, Mr. Mxyzptlk. We also have JLA 112, which is continuing the new crime syndicate story that was going on at the time, and Teen Titans number 22, which was dealing with the ramifications of Identity Crisis that happened the year before. In 2015, we have Batman Superman number 20. I'm looking at this cover. I have no memory of what goes on inside. We also have Injustice Gods Among Us, year 3, number 12. Supergirl, number 40, getting deeper and deeper into that series. I think it's about to get canceled, though, unfortunately. And Superman, number 39, which was the last one done by Jeff Johns, if memory serves. And I think next month we're going to be talking about the Convergence issues when we get to 2015. We're 10 years on from Truth. That's...
Wow.
Yeah, that was a story that happened. In the real world, on March 18th, Zack Snyder's Justice League premiered on what was then called HBO Max. And if you started it on March 18th, 2021, you were probably still watching it because that movie is long.
To watch it in like 3 parts.
Yeah, it's like I didn't watch it all at once. I heard some people doing that. I'm like, wow, you could sit there for 4 straight hours watching this? I mean, it's not that it's not better than the Joss Whedon version, because in just about every way possible, except maybe some of the Superman scenes, as a friend pointed out to me recently, it's better. But there are scenes where it's just like, this is just going on way too long. So... And it takes like Ben Affleck like 2 hours to get into the bat suit.
If you just removed all the slow-mo, it would take 2 hours.
Slow-mo.
And on March 21st, 2018... Oh, go ahead, Mark.
No, I'm saying the slow-mo and the all that lamenting. This, I watched it with the captions on, and every time you heard, oh, Anyway, go on.
March 21st in 2018, Krypton premiered on Sci-Fi, and the thing I remember most about that was the trivia contests that they ran.
Yeah.
Leading up to it, and I never won the top prize, but for 4 nights I was like one of the runners-ups. So, like 3 months later, I get this giant box in the mail. That's like 4 copies of that World of Krypton trade paperback, the power banks that never worked.
No.
They would last like 5 minutes and then die on you, and a bunch of T-shirts. And it was just like, maybe they should cut you off after you win once. Like, you only get 1 prize pack. But that was a lot of fun to do. So, but that was this week in history.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, I got the same. And I got the T-shirt. I got the World of Krypton. I got the it wasn't the bobblehead. The what do you call it? The big head, the Superman, and I got that. That was fun.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of people remembering the Krypton TV series, for the most part, saying that they loved it, and it's sad that it ended before we got more seasons. So yeah, it was a show that I would have liked to have seen continue on. All right, let's jump into the rest of tonight's topics as we get towards the end, the last quarter hour of our show. In some merchandise news, we've got a new DC Comics collection, Superman Volume 2, 204 vinyl figure. I don't think we spoke about this last week. No, I don't think we did, but... it's from YouTube's. Let me get up the images right here. This is it's a vinyl figure, obviously designed after the Jim Lee Superman 204 cover with him on top of that gargoyle. Just standing at over 5 inches tall with a clenched fist held to his front as a vibrant red cape billows to his side. A foot rests on the golden eagle statue underneath him as his stoic face looks onward, and a coil of black hair falls over his forehead. It's like they got AI to write the description. So this is valued at $29.99, estimated to arrive in May this year, and is available to pre-order now through our website, which is a great way to support the Superman homepage because it costs you nothing more, but we get a kickback if you use the affiliate link found on our website.
That's That's kind of adorable.
It's got the dimpled chin.
Yeah, the dimpled chin, all right. Yeah, so there you go.
So,
It's
but yeah, it's
interesting figure.
that Jim that Jim Lee cover is never going to die. It's just
No,
they're
it's
going
just
to
going to
keep
go
coming
on
out with
and
new
on and
versions
on
of
and
it.
on.
And
Yeah,
they're going to
for
make him
sure.
do that till he's 90.
So that's from YouTube's. Also, now, this was interesting because we haven't seen trading cards for, I don't know, seems like 20 years, I feel like. But Upper Deck are releasing a DC annual trading card collection, which is really impressive. So, like I said, I haven't seen trading cards forever. This is obviously new licensing agreement with Warner Brothers to create trading cards and collectibles featuring the beloved characters of the DC universe. First flagship product coming out of the collaboration, DC annual trading cards, available at your local certified diamond dealer hobby shop from March 12th. So available now. The Upper Deck DC annual trading card set allows collectors to reflect on the best comic book moments by reliving the past year of storylines, characters, and crossovers and major events. Featured in the annual set is an array of trading cards, including inserts such as serial numbered holograms, sparkling foils, lenticular cards, and cover image art. Autographs can be found from creators Tom Taylor, Nicholas Scott, Mark Waid, and more. There'll also be signature sketch cards featuring original art, including ready for action sketch booklets. So these are interesting. Like I said, I haven't seen trading cards in forever.
Yeah, I think Cryptozoic put out a set like 10 years ago
Yeah.
of a Superman set that had a nice binder to it with, oddly enough, the Superman 204 as the cover to the binder that is now packed up in a box right now. But I don't know. There's part of me that thinks this is kind of charming. I Part of me wants to buy it. Part of me is just like, will I be able to find a complete set, or do I just want to wait for like a complete set to pop up uh, on eBay? I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't think trading cards have been fun since the '90s. So, but that's
Yeah,
just
I
my
remember
opinion.
going to like collector fairs and things like that and searching for ones that I was missing or trying to buy a complete set. And it was like, when I was first collecting trading cards, and I've got binders like, this thick of some of there were foil ones, there were holographic ones. There were some great
Yep.
card sets, the Death of Superman ones. So there was some great Superman trading card collections. But so yeah, like you said, 10 years ago, since Cryptozoic created one, I'm kind of like, it's very nostalgic for me. Mark, what do you think?
I've never been big on collecting the trading cards. I do have some, or I've had some anyway. The '90s, actually, I got a lot of them. Was it when it was it was Advanced Comics or whatever would come
Yep.
packaged with stuff, or even Wizard, I think, from time to time. So I would keep all of that. I would keep all of that stuff, and I did buy some trading cards, but that was back then. I haven't in like forever.
Well, I know obviously Pokemon, as Mind the Gap mentions, is still very big. And I listened to a podcast by one of the guys who runs the Deep Pocket Monster YouTube channel, and like he's always out there trying to do these challenges where he's trying to complete a set or what have you. So it's trading cards are still big, especially if the whole idea of the niche you're in, which is obviously Pokemon's whole thing. It's all about the cards. Yeah, interesting that we're getting DC annual trading cards from Upper Deck. So upperdeck.com if you want more information, but all the details about that are on our website. So DC annual trading cards. Speaking about collectibles, this one was an interesting one. A DC The Daily Planet Superman snow globe, which is... Whoops, turn off the Superman trading card. There it is there. It's a officially licensed Daily Planet Superman snow globe. It must have collectible, it says, for Superman fans. The iconic superhero in a dynamic pose, this snow globe is the perfect way to celebrate the legacy of one of the most beloved comic book characters, and features a beautifully sculpted Superman standing strong with his cape flowing around the base. Behind him is the cityscape of Metropolis, and at the heart of the globe is the iconic Daily Planet building with its globe. Inside the glass, blue and red glitter falls gently, adding to the charm and magic of the piece.
That's a very flowery description.
Yeah, like I said, it's like they've asked ChatGPT to write these things every time I see them.
If it was Chat GPT, it would be like, hallowed for ages in comic books and television, the Daily Planet globe stands majestically. I was just like,
Yeah.
you could really spot. I think we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. You could
Yeah.
really spot the AI written things, and it just makes me think. It's just like, okay, I get it if you're like putting out a commercial thing, but if you're like setting up a like you're like doing your own commentary and stuff like that, it just feels weird. It
Yeah.
feels really plastic, actually, when I read that stuff.
So this one's $59.99 US and expected to ship in June. And again, you can purchase this through the affiliate link at our website from Merchoid. But a great way to support the website if you're interested in snow globes.
Well, wait a second. It's not like $1,000 and
No.
like your left kidney, because that's usually the stuff that we talk about.
Yeah, no, this one's more manageable, I think.
That might be nice to get. Do you guys have any Superman snow globes?
Yeah, I got.
I don't.
I've got a Justice League one where Superman's on the base and you've got Green Lantern on the outside of the globe, and it's his green ring, what do you know, creating a sphere that the superheroes like Batman, the Flash, and Wonder Woman are on the inside of the globe. So it's Green Lantern protecting them, I guess. And I think I've got another one somewhere that's from Metropolis, Illinois. I've definitely got one of the Superman statue. That's like one of those kind of souvenir things that you buy at any kind of souvenir shop. That's they're not the highest quality, but still, that's one I've got in the collection. Yourself?
Yes, it's packed up, but 25 years ago, for Valentine's Day, my wife got me one. It was in the shape of the ship from the post-crisis era, and it's got Kryptonian writing around it, and it's got Superman like kind of floating in the middle of the globe itself. But she got that for me for Valentine's Day that year, so.
Nice.
It's a sharp thing. I usually have it out with my nicer Superman statues and stuff, not just like your typical action figure stuff.
Very cool. All right. Well, the only other thing there is to talk about is the DC Dark Legion video strategy game. This is now available on the App Store, Google Play, and PC via the official game website. Inspired by Dark Knight's Metal comic series, this interactive game sees players recruited by the universe's last Monitor to help defend Earth Prime from the Batman Who Laughs and his horrific army of Dark Knights. So this is now available to download. It's now available to play. It launched this past week, and players can claim in-game rewards in celebration of the official launch. And it got some, I've seen it all, like every time I visit a social media, whether it's platform, whether it's Facebook, what have you, all I see is DC Dark Legion video promotions. So it seems to be really heavily promoted.
Yeah, the Superman design is interesting. I was looking at it. One of the people that I'm friends with on Blue Sky finally got Superman, and he's
up and away.
That was why did he sound like a frat boy? That's weird. But no, the costume design is kind of like somebody took like the second Rebirth costume and mixed it with the Man of Steel costume. So I don't know why they feel the need to overly texture these things, but they do.
So yeah, it's I haven't downloaded it or anything yet, but I'm sure there are probably in-game purchases you have to make. But I'm not big on mobile video games, like I would have been maybe 15 years ago. Mark, are you interested in this one?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not into video games much at all. But the less I have to deal with the Batman who laughs, the better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. He's like the greatest character find of all time. What are you talking about?
God.
They really seem to be, I mean, and these video games, let's be honest, they seem to be maybe 3-4 years behind the current comic books because of obviously the lead time that they need to be able to create these things and what have you. And so they're always basing them on things that have probably been, in our review mirror for quite some time now. But nevertheless, they're pushing this one hard.
Yeah, I always feel bad for the merchandising guys because I remember when we got to the Reign of the Superman film that came out in 2019, and at the end of it, he's in the second Rebirth costume, but by that time he was back in the classic costume of the in the comics. And there's just, I always joke about this, but the guy who I pity the most is who was ever in charge of Superman merchandising art from 2011 to 2018, because that he must just been drinking heavily the entire time. Like every time he got like an entire new rollout out, DC was changing the costume on him.
Yeah, it's and all the promo material you seem to see at the moment with Superman seems to have the Dan Jurgens Rebirth.
Yeah,
doesn't seem to have anything.
Which saw today, Dan Jurgens Rebirth Omnibus Volume 1's coming out later this year. So we're getting a lot of Superman collected editions this year, which is only appropriate. But I was really happy to see that because the Peter Tomasi one came out a couple years ago. But they're finally getting around to the Dan Jurgens one. It's going to have the Convergence two-parter. It's going to have the Superman and Lois miniseries. And it runs up to Superman Reborn. So I'm assuming the second omnibus will have the back end of his run on the book.
Mm. And speaking of collections and things, Mind the Gap mentioned a little bit earlier that Jorge Jimenez is having an art book from DC coming out as well this year. So lots of things to look forward to. And you'll see tomorrow or tonight when I post it on the website, there's also a Superman official cookbook, hardcover book coming out. So it's all in for Superman in 2025, I tell you what.
I saw the cover to that. It's got Green Arrow on it. I'm assuming he's just sitting there giving Superman a hard time about his chili recipe, as that is one of Green Arrow's things in the comic.
Very good. Yes, it's very much based on the comic books from recipes and things like that. But look, guys, that is pretty much it for tonight's show. Before we do sign off, I'd like to thank everyone for watching tonight's episode of Superman Homepage Live. Apologies to those people on Instagram who got cut short. Once again, thank you to all who called in, who were there in the comments to chat with us there and for participating in the show. We really appreciate your involvement and thank you for spending the past hour with us. And a big shout out and thank you to my two co-hosts, Michael Bailey and Mark Lax. Thank you, gentlemen.
Pleasure as always, Steve.
Thank you, guys.
Huge thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Rick Schutzauer, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. And remember, if you want to sponsor the Superman homepage, please head to patreon.com/Superman homepage, or you might like to click the join button there on YouTube and become a member that way. Now, the complete 1 hour video of tonight's show will remain available on the Superman homepage website and on our YouTube channel. If you maybe tuned in late, got cut off, or want to check it out in full, then all you have to do is go to the website or YouTube channel. But we'll be back next week on Monday, March 24th at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for another edition of Superman Homepage Live. We hope you'll join us then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice on behalf of myself and Michael Bailey and Mark Lax. Thanks for watching Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com. Good night.